In today's video, I'm going to be discussing premium bonds, one of the most popular saving and investment products in the UK today. But comparing them to other savings and investment products, are premium bonds still worth it, and should you invest in them? Let's get straight into it and take a look. Premium bonds are the main product of NS&I, which stands for National Savings and Investments. They are over 150 years old and are backed by the UK government. They actually offer a wide range of savings and investment products. When you save or invest with them, you're essentially lending money to the government, which goes into the public purse, which allows the government to go and spend it on things like schools, the NHS, emergency funds, and subsidising the House of Commons bars and restaurants. They have over 25 million customers and over £179 billion invested, and around £100 billion of that is held in premium bonds. So what are premium bonds? Well, they're basically referred to as a combination of a savings account and a lottery. Every £1 that you invest is basically a ticket, and that ticket has an equal chance, along with all of the other tickets, in winning on the monthly prize draw. Any individual can invest up to £50,000, and the monthly prizes range from the lowest of £25 all the way up to £1 million. 1 in 3 people in the UK are invested in premium bonds, which makes it the most popular savings product in the country. So why are premium bonds so popular, and should you invest in them? Let's take a deeper look, starting at taxes. One of the main selling points of premium bonds when they were first released is the fact that any interest earned is actually classed as prizes and therefore is not taxable. This was big when they first came out because at that time you would have to pay tax on any interest that you earn on your savings. However, since 2016, this tax benefit of premium bonds isn't really that much of a big deal anymore, because that's when the personal saving allowance came into play. The personal saving allowance means that if you're a basic rate taxpayer, you can earn up to £1,000 in interest per year before you pay any tax on interest. For higher rate taxpayers, the amount is £500 before you start paying tax, but for top rate taxpayers, the amount is £0. So the tax benefit of premium bonds now really only applies to people who are earning more interest than the personal savings allowance allows them, or the people in a very top tax bracket. Another big benefit of premium bonds when they first came out is the fact that they're backed by the government, and that means that 100% of your deposits are secure and that your money is safe. So that sounds good, right? Well, in 2001, the Financial Services Compensation Scheme was brought into play. This means that customers of any regulated financial service provider in the UK, which is basically the majority of the banks, have their savings and investments protected up to the value of £85,000, with the maximum you can put into premium bonds of £50,000. This now makes one of premium bonds' best features kind of obsolete, because you can get even more money protected in a bank account than you can in premium bonds. So it's not really looking good for premium bonds, is it? But keep watching. The premium bonds prize draw is done once a month, with prizes ranging from £25 up to £1 million. They have an annual prize fund rate of 1%, which essentially means if you were to invest £100 into premium bonds, over the course of the year you should win £1, which will be the 1%, which doesn't seem too bad considering the interest rates at the moment. But hold on, it's not actually that simple, because you can't actually win £1. The minimum you can win is actually £25, which means that a lot more people have to actually lose and win nothing just for one person to actually win the minimum £25. The probability, as I'm sure you can imagine, of winning a £1 million is very, very slim. To put it into perspective, the chances of winning a national lottery is around 1 in 45 million each week, but the chances of one entry winning the £1 million in premium bonds is more than 1 in 51 billion. Of course though, with bonds, if you don't win, you don't lose your investment. You keep that investment and it's entered into the prize every single month. So return on investment on premium bonds essentially comes down to luck. You could invest £100 and end up winning the £1 million jackpot within just a few months, or you could invest a maximum £50,000 and never win anything over your lifetime. If you compare premium bonds to a top easy access savings account at 0.5%, you can see that if you hold anything below £5,000, the chances of premium bonds giving you a greater return than the 0.5% interest account is actually very slim. However, on amounts greater than £5,000, the odds show there's more chance of the premium bonds providing a greater return than that savings account. So obviously the more you have invested, the better it can be for you. Having said that, there are fixed rate savings accounts out there and they have much higher interest rates. So if you don't need instant access to your money and you're prepared to put it away for maybe 1 to 3 years, you can get a much better savings account, which completely outweighs the potential of premium bonds and will be a much smarter financial decision to invest in. So after everything I've said, you may be sitting there scratching your head thinking, why would anyone invest in premium bonds in the first place? And you might be baffled at the fact that 1 in 3 people in the UK actually have them. Well, one of the main reasons is the psychology behind it, and the fact that the interest is actually called winning. This buys into the gambler's mentality. It's the reason that millions of us go out every single week and buy a lottery ticket. Even though we know we have less than a 1 in 14 million chance of winning, we buy the ticket and then we spend time dreaming about how our lives would change and what we would do if we win big. That's the reason why, despite betting shops being closed for most of 2020 because of lockdown, the gambling industry in the UK last year was still a multi-billion pound industry. The reason many people justify premium bonds is the fact that your money's safe, you don't lose it if you don't win the prize, and you can take it out at any time. However, a lot of people don't think about this, and that's the what if factor, and that definitely comes into play. If I go to withdraw my funds from premium bonds, straight away the first thing that I'll be thinking is what if this month was actually meant to be my month and I was going to win? And that reason could be why the average investment in premium bonds is over £4,000. Despite it being such a small chance of winning, people are actually still adding more money into premium bonds on average than people that are taking it out. While the odds and stats show that getting any kind of return on premium bonds are slim at best, that's all based on average luck. And with average luck, that means some people will be less lucky and some people will be much more lucky. And the fact is, the prizes are won by someone every single month. So why not me? That's the mentality that keeps people pumping money into premium bonds, even though there are smarter investments out there with guaranteed returns. So who should invest in premium bonds? I'd suggest there's 3 different types of people. First is people saving for the long term but need easy access to the money. On average, premium bonds beat an easy access savings account for people who are investing more than £5,000. However, they don't beat many of the top fixed savings accounts based on average luck. However, with those fixed accounts, your money is locked away, typically between 1 to 3 years. So for people looking to invest a large sum of money, but they may need access to it in a short term, premium bonds could be a good, easy alternative to use. The second group of people is those paying tax on interest. If you're fortunate enough to be in a position where the interest you earn on your savings exceeds the personal savings allowance, which means you'll have to start paying tax on any further interest that you make. Or if you're in a top tax bracket, so you'd have to pay tax on interest anyway, premium bonds could be a good way to save your money whilst increasing your tax-free allowance, because any kind of return you do get through the bonds won't be taxed. The third group, which I'm sure a lot of people fall into, is that if you've just got a small amount of money to save, maybe you've got a spare 100, 200, maybe £300 that you want to put away to start maybe building an emergency fund, and you're really not that bothered about missing out on 0.5% per year interest, and you'd rather give up that small amount of interest for the chance of winning something, no matter how small the odds are. For me personally, I just started putting a small amount into premium bonds each month. I use it as a way to build up an emergency fund. Now, I don't actually expect to win anything at all, but just having them there, I'm happy to take the small loss on interest just to allow me the opportunity to dream about the investments, the holidays, the change in people's lives around me, if for some reason I got lucky and did win. Let me know in the comments below what you think of premium bonds. Do you invest in them, and have you ever won anything? Subscribe to the channel for more videos on money management, personal finance and online business. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.